is up, everybody? Today's a huge day for me because I'm going to get my RX-7 tuned. I'm super excited. It's been a long time. The car's been, it's taken me a long time to build the car because I'm not able to work on it all that much, but it's to the point now where it's ready to be tuned and then I can go drifting, so I'm super excited. First, I need to go drop this chassis off at the powder coater. Then I get to drive back to the shop, put my car in the trailer, and drive to the tuner. So that's what I'm going to be doing. This is my friend Jamie's shop. He is a snowmobile collector. They have a sign shop and he does powder coating. They're, obviously it's a big, huge place. And I actually worked here for a short period of time. Fun while I worked here, for sure. In a nutshell, the chassis is getting powder coated. I have some running boards which are getting blasted, a cross member that's getting powder coated, and these spindles which are also getting powder coated. So that's pretty much that. So the battery died on the GoPro yesterday when we were tuning, or I guess at least when we started doing dyno pulls. And pretty much I'll explain how the day went. As soon as we got there, we couldn't first we couldn't connect to the Holly software. For whatever reason, my laptop was having some problems. So it just meant like doing another download and yada, yada, yada. So we then could finally connect and then figured out, like, all right, why won't the idle come down? And it was idle air, ended up being a bad idle air control valve, and the closest one was like 40 minutes from where I was. I drove to get the idle air control valve and then brought it back, and drove back, put it in, that fixed the high idle problem. And then got it on the dyno and strapped down and everything. And just a couple small things, like, doing some pulls and then it would like break up at like, I was only doing pulls from like 2400 to 4000. Just wanted to do that just to make sure there wasn't gonna be like boost spikes or anything like that. So, but literally we weren't even getting to 4000. It was like breaking up at like 3200 RPM. It would start to break up. So then we changed the plugs because the plugs that we had in it were a little too cold. We put plugs in it for running a lot of boost, and the reality is we're not running that much boost. So right now it's basically just wastegate, which is just, it has a 5-pound spring in it, so we're running 5 pounds of boost. The boost controller can hold that closed to be able to run more boost, but for now, we're just gonna tune it on 5 and then start to creep it up and see where the engine wants to be happy. So we changed the spark plugs on a red hot motor, which sucked. Then it just kind of doing some more stuff, a couple more pulls, and it started continuing to do that breakup thing where it wasn't like a it wasn't smooth. I couldn't like stay in it. It started to break up, so I have to lift, and it's just leaning out. So I think we have a fuel pressure issue. And then it was like the end of the day, so we kind of just said, let's work on this tomorrow. That's what we're doing. All right, so basically what we got now is the injectors that I got sent are low impedance injectors, and the Terminator X will not run low impedance injectors. It only runs high impedance injectors. So idling and startup and stuff like that, they work, but the minute you ask for some fuel, it's not delivering the fuel. So literally just spent the last hour on the phone calling everybody we know in the local area to try to find some injectors that are going to work. So I'm running about 40 minutes away to his shop to pick up some, just some 60-pound injectors, which isn't even that big of a deal. I just want to get this thing buttoned up you know, it's not going to make tons and tons and tons of power. So the, you know, some Deca 60s will do the trick for what we're looking to do. I mean, it should make, you know, I mean, even those injectors will make 600 horsepower to the wheels. So that's what I'm doing. It's kind of unfortunate because we've been like chasing this problem and then realized, oh, it's these stupid injectors are just the wrong ones. So anyways, that's what I'm dealing with. I totally understand the frustration that tuners have, because it's always some stupid thing like what we're dealing with right now. Everybody thinks their car is like ready to go to the dyno, and it's like as soon as the car gets to the dyno, these guys have to chase all these stupid little issues. And it's like, you know, everything from just connection issues to, you know, something as stupid as these injectors are like the wrong injectors. And, you know, I'm not an idiot. I was told from Holly to get this package, and for whatever reason, you know, it just is a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. You know, I got the wrong injectors. So I have even myself, I would always been like, you know, what is it with everybody that tunes? Why are they like, you know, so sour when it comes to like getting a car in and whatever, getting it in and getting it out kind of a thing. And it's very rare that a car goes in and it's just like good to go and they don't have to change anything. You know, there's always issues. And then it gets to the point where it's like, all right, it's up on the dyno, and then, you know, in order to work on it, you know, how do you even work on it? You're like, it's a pain in the butt to work on when it's on the dyno, whether, depending on whatever type of dyno someone has, whether it's a hub dyno or whether it's on some little ramp like Tony's dyno is, you know, or if it's just in the floor or whatever. But it's like, you know, it's not like the car is on the lift and you can like put it up and down and work on it easily. It's like you're working on it like in a fixed position, you know, and all of it, like getting the car strapped down is like a time-consuming thing. And then at the end of the day, when you're working on the car, when it's on the dyno, it's just that much more of a pain in the butt. And, you know, what are you billing for? Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously they get what they get an hour. And then at the end of the day, they go, all right, well, you know, just because the car was on the dyno for X amount of time, do they really bill for the, you know, for the 20 hours or the 10 hours or whatever that the car is sitting on the dyno? Probably not. And they're screwing themselves over by doing that, but like they have to be realistic. And you know, it's just a tough thing. So I totally get it now. So if you are a tuner or if you have a dyno, I now understand why all of you guys are kind of the same when it comes to, you know, the, what's the word? I don't know, I can't even think of the word to use. I don't know, everybody that tunes, it's always difficult to get an appointment with them because there's always an issue. There's always a car that's stuck on the dyno or waiting on this or waiting on that. So I don't know what the word is for it, but I feel for you guys now, where I didn't before. This is the first time that I've like stayed with the car while it's being tuned. Literally, like every car that we do, you know, most of the cars that we do are really straightforward when it comes to like drivetrain stuff. So it's like, you know, it's like a stock LS motor with, you know, a Holley Terminator or whatever, but it's all stock stuff usually. And, you know, this car is a little bit different. There's just more to it, you know, different fuel system. It's got a turbo, it's got this, it's got that. There's all these little things, and, you know, it makes it a little bit more challenging to work on. So anyways, that was a long-winded way to say I feel for you guys that tune now. So anyways, thank you. Shout out to Tony for dealing with my car, and also to everybody who's been helping, you know, whether it be Steve or my friend Justin or like, you know, all the guys that I've talked to, Butch, everybody that has kind of like been there as far as like helping us look for what we need. It's really, you know, a blessing that there's, you know, so many people that are willing to help during their workday to get us or get me out of a little bit of a pickle. So appreciate you guys. All right, so I went to try to go get the right injectors that we need, and they're the wrong injectors. So I'm literally running around like a crackhead, like, oh my God, there's an event tonight. you know, if I get the right parts, I can get the car tuned, and then I can go driving tonight. And like, that's literally how I'm acting. I'm running around frantic. I'm grabbing shit. I'm not even looking at what it is. Literally, like, I just picked up these injectors. I like sent Tony a picture of them. I'm like, I'm not a total fool, but I just grabbed the shit and I like, perfect, these are them. And they're like this long. I know they're not right, but I'm just like, I don't know, whatever, I'm an idiot. It's literally how like racing goes. Like, you stop thinking rational or rationally, and that is what I've been doing literally for the past couple days. I'm doing everything I can to just like rush to make something work, and it's the wrong shit. And I gotta just now I'm like, all right, it's not a big deal. However, I want it fixed and I want it done, but like, I'm literally running around town. Like right now, if somebody said, you know, or I should, not right now, 2 hours ago, if it was like, if someone said, you just got to drive 2 hours to go get these injectors, I would have driven 2 hours one way and 2 hours back, because maybe I could make the event tonight. And that's crazy. That's like no way to live or be. I'm like literally like, my heart's like, I'm like stressing out because there's a chance I might be able to like go drive tonight. I'm like ridiculous. So I don't know, I'm ranting, but I'm definitely not raving. I'm gonna have to wait. Hopefully Tony will, oh man, that guy just drove right on the curb. Anyways, Tony said he's got a friend that has some injectors that might be able to come by later tonight or tomorrow or whatever. So hopefully that works. You know, this morning we were like, oh, we'll get these injectors, we'll overnight them. But regardless, that's what we're doing, or that's what I'm doing. And the car is not gonna be done, at least today. Kind of a bummer. So anyways, guys, hope you liked the video. Make sure to hit the like button. If you're not subscribing, subscribe. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. Later. All right, I am about as defeated as I could possibly be right now. I'm just leaving Tony's. My car's got some issues. We put the wrong injectors in it, and they were a low impedance injector, and they need to be a high impedance injector. The Terminator X Max will not run a low impedance injector. So what we've been told is now, so we changed and just put like Deca 60s in it, which is nothing crazy. They're inexpensive, you know, decent injectors. They work well, and they'll work fine for what I'm trying to do. However, now that we've run the low impedance injectors, it is now, it's sort of like messed up we think it's messed up the drivers in the computer itself, in the Terminator X Max. So, all we can do is put it in a box, send it back to Holly, and have them fix it. So I just am bummed, you know what I mean? The car's been stuck on Tony's dyno for like a couple days. I was really hoping to have this thing just done and worked out and good, and it's like something as stupid as just putting the wrong injector in there has really ruined some things. So a little bit of an unfortunate turn of events. I'm just bumming. Ugh, sucks.